This is the story of the United Mission to Nepal. Streams filled with works of love and compassionate witness to the Savior in a lovely mountain kingdom.
त्यो ढुङ्गा त्यो खोला त्यो वन त्यो रुख त्यो लतिका त्यो चिरसु त्यो हृदय केन्द्रमा स्नेह जडी चम्काइरहेछ आज छेड छेड ढुंगा मेरो प्यारो ओखल ढुंगा मेरो प्यारो ओखल ढुंगा.
The United Mission is a Christian mission of nearly 30 different denominations and church agencies. Its workers come from many countries to minister to the needs of the people of Nepal in the name and spirit of Christ and to make Christ known in words and action. Along its northern border, Nepal is crowned by the Himalayan mountains with peaks up to 5.5 miles high. To the south, its border adjoins the hot plains of India. On the north, the main Himalayan range, which separates Nepal from the Tibetan plateau. Nepal is a land of endless mountain paths, and the most important means of transportation is always your own two legs. Supplies, the necessities of life, are carried for miles, often for days, along steep mountain ridges and across treacherous rivers. People of several different backgrounds live in the high mountains. They are distinguishable in appearance by the clothes they wear. This is very evident during the weekly bazaar, when the village can be swelled by thousands coming to do their buying and selling, or just to have a chat. Nepal is a nation of about 12 million people. Geographically, it is united, but ethnic backgrounds are different. Nearly 40 different tribal languages are still in daily use in Nepal. Contributions to the life and growth of the nation by tribal and ethnic groups such as Gurung, Rai, Magar, Tamang, Sherpa, and Newar have enriched Nepali society across the years. Artistic skills have flourished in Nepal for centuries. The talent of Newari craftsmen is seen everywhere in the delicate wood carvings and in the architecture. To the visitor, the unique temples and pagodas of Kathmandu offer an ancient touch of Hindu and Buddhist tradition. The people of Nepal worship in different ways according to inherited customs and traditions. Hindu, Buddhist, Muslim, and Christian, all are here. Hindus make up the largest group, and Hinduism is the national religion. Hindus and Buddhists are very tolerant of one another, often using the same temples for worship. Christian agencies, such as the United Mission to Nepal, have had the opportunity to work in Nepal for less than 25 years. Hence, the Christian church, still very young in Nepal, is small but growing with obvious strengths in youth and indigenous leadership. The Nepali people have the unfailing gift of courtesy and friendliness, and you're aware of this even in the hectic and busy life of the bazaar. Along its own already clearly defined lines, Nepal is engaged in the task of nation building. Many aid groups have been invited to help. China is providing electric trolley buses to improve transportation in the Kathmandu Valley. Kathmandu is the capital of the Kingdom of Nepal, the only Hindu kingdom in the world. Central to the official activities is the royal palace. And the king takes great personal interest in the progress of his country. Today, Royal Nepal Airlines connect Nepal with other countries by means of modern jets. It is also operating a growing domestic service with planes of several sizes, some of them small enough to use small landing strips in areas difficult to reach. This is helpful for the mission, which depends on the airline to deliver medicines and other supplies to some of its most distant outposts. One of the projects is a dispensary high in the Himalayas, more than 6,000 feet above sea level. Though they often see airplanes, the children have never seen a car. From now on, carriers must take over. The destination is still several hours' climb across the valley, up and down mountainsides. A Japanese missionary doctor is waiting for them in this remote outpost. A continuous supply of medicine and equipment is essential for him. This dispensary serves people from a very wide area where doctors are scarce. Patients often walk for many days to get to the clinic. Family members often accompany them and stay in a special shed built for them where they can sleep and cook their meals. Every patient wants his food prepared according to his tradition and taste. Patients who come wait their turn, keeping both the doctor and his assistant busy. Many have deep concerns. Will I get help? What will the doctor say? Sometimes it's the doctor's task to uncover hidden diseases. In Nepal, people raise enough grain to be self-sufficient. No less than 15% of the land area is cultivated for crops. Even in the higher alpine areas, farmers painstakingly carve narrow terraces where wheat and potatoes are grown. Millet is also important in the food supply, but the main staple is rice. It is a happy time of the year. The harvest from the fertile valley is a good one. The swing is a special symbol of festival time. In this village, which is several hours' walk from the nearest road, a United Mission family lives with its small children. They rent a Nepali home in the center of the village and have become a part of the village life. If your neighbor next door happens to be a medical doctor, this is what any mother might do. Get a little advice about your child as you share the pleasant morning sun. The doctor's husband is a teacher, and for him it's time for school. So the streams of living water flow, reaching into many a hidden valley and isolated community with Christian care, skill, and compassion. A few weeks ago, the teacher and his pupils made a field trip to Kathmandu.
Where did we go?
And they are now practicing their English by recollecting their experiences from that tour.
Yes.
Although recruited and employed by the mission, he is on loan to the government through the Ministry of Education.
Did you like them? Who was best? The king?
The headmaster takes an interest in their conversation and comes to join them for a while. In the city, about 600 Nepali girls from every section of the nation seek a quality education at Mahendra Bhawan Girls High School. The headmistress is a former student. Some of its graduates include teachers, doctors, nurses, and interior decorators. The students get a good foundation for admission to any of the several colleges in the valley area. Students of the women's college are here seen in their typical uniform. A boys' boarding school is located in central Nepal. The United Mission was one of the first groups invited to open it. It is now a government school incorporated into the educational system. The headmaster is a missionary. He assembles with his teaching staff to start the day by singing the national anthem.
Good morning, boys.
Good morning, sir.
We
want
So the classes begin. Science is a popular subject among the boys. Several hundred boys will get a good basic education through high school. The school also has an agricultural program which prepares the young men for farm and paddy management. They get both theoretical and practical training on both crops and animals, and the teachers and their students have made this program self-supporting. Along the southern border of the country, the land is flat. Where the foothills meet the plains, the Butwal Technical Institute is located. Here, on-the-job training gives young men an opportunity to acquire trade skills. In response to a request from the government, the mission started this institute, the first technical training program of its kind in the country. Trainees spend 10 hours a week in class and 44 hours a week in the workshops. The practical use of some of the country's natural resources, such as timber for wood products, is taught. The basic woodworking training leads into more skilled furniture making. Young Nepalis are also facing a world which demands increasing mechanical techniques. In the machine shop, they discover that precision is a very important part of the job. Auto mechanics is a skill which will be in greater and greater demand as road building grows. The Institute specializes in steel tanks of different sizes, some for transportation purposes, but there is, as we shall see, a new development creating a demand for steel tanks, gobar gas production. In both India and Nepal, people use animal dung for cooking fuel. This means burning of fertilizer which is badly needed on the fields. In a typical farm area, technicians from the United Mission are engaged in a rural development project where buffalo or cow dung, here called gobar, is collected and mixed with water. It is poured through an inlet into an underground cement or brick pit where a bacteriological process produces methane gas. The gas is collected in a steel tank open at the bottom. The heavy dome moves up or down as the gas is formed, trapped, and used. Nothing is wasted in this compact digester. The fertilizer value of the manure coming out of it is at least as good as, some say better than, the raw material. One of the missionaries, a consultant on the program, discusses the operation with representatives of Nepal's Agricultural Development Bank, which makes finances available for families that want to install similar units on their farms. The gas is piped into the cooking area, produces a clean, odorless flame, and provides farmyard light as well. This technical training and development is also a channel of the living water. The hydroelectric plant deep inside a river gorge is a pilot project designed to show what can be done in many parts of the country. Power is produced for domestic customers and for industrial projects like this plywood factory, a Nepali private company with the United Mission as one of the shareholders. The factory is a pioneer industrial development made possible by the mission, which constructed the building and recruited the specialists who came to share their skills. The machines used in the factory are second-hand, bought inexpensively from Europe when a more automatic type of production took over there. Here, these units are just right as they give more people the opportunity for employment. Butwal Plywood Factory has a Nepali general manager who has been granted a leave of absence from his job with the government. In time, the factory will be turned over completely to Nepali ownership.
This industry is first industry in its kind in this country, so the government is very much eager for its development. Now we are running this industry in break-even point, and we are competing in price and quality in the market.
In the rapidly expanding health program of the mission, based in UMN hospitals, but reaching into hundreds of homes in town and rural areas, the streams of living water broaden and deepen with the good news of health for the whole man, wholeness for body, mind, and spirit. Shanta Bhawan Hospital has been supplying a medical need in Kathmandu for more than 20 years. It aims to serve all who come through its gates. On the ward, student nurses are given clinical experience. The medical superintendent consults with colleagues at the bedside of a critically ill woman. Nowadays, Nepali and overseas doctors share responsibility for patients and in so doing learn from one another. What of the children of Nepal? 4 out of 10 die before they reach the age of 5. The government and the United Mission, in consultation with each other, are making education in the home a primary goal in expanding community health. Trained health assistants make a visit to a newborn child, checking its progress. The mission regards this as an important part of its function to improve health care for small children. Mothers are encouraged to bring their children monthly for examinations and advice. In Shanta Bhawan Hospital, there is a special clinic for children under the age of 5. An auxiliary health worker is in charge. He may see up to 150 children a day, giving simple advice on nutrition and hygiene. It is a useful practice to have other patients waiting in the same room where they learn by overhearing. Often mothers are more relaxed when they are not being interviewed themselves and will remember more from what is said to other mothers than when it is their own turn. Only if a child is ill would it be referred to a doctor. The key to improved health for children in a developing country is emphasis on good nutrition. Masai from Japan, who is both a missionary and an experienced nutritionist, lives in a typical Nepali village. Let us follow her on one of her regular visits to a home in the area. Along the trail, she picks up her Nepali colleague who joins in the work with her. The message on the flashcards encourages breastfeeding. It is repeated over and over again because it is such an important foundation for a healthy child. Some mothers need practical experience under supervision in learning how to rehabilitate an undernourished child. A simple bamboo kitchen built like a cooking area of a village home is the teaching laboratory. In charge is a nurse midwife. Mothers come as they are able when the rice is planted or the harvest done. They live at the unit for a week or two learning from the specialist. What they need in order to make their babies well is available right in their home villages. Their crops are local grains, soya beans, wheat, and corn, which are roasted, ground, and mixed in proper proportions, and become the source of life-sustaining protein. The cereal helps to restore the child to health. The teacher has not introduced anything to mothers that would violate custom, tradition, or religious practice. The team will visit the mother to follow her progress. Streams of water. But there are many obstacles to overcome. Bridges are scarce, and if there are none, you have to find your own solution. This bridge, however, plays an important role as part of the high road to Gorkha district in the midland of Nepal. Gorkha, famous for its soldiers, is the birthplace of the royal dynasty, the Shah family. It is also one of the most beautiful parts of the country. In one of the hilltop villages, the United Mission has built a hospital. Patients come long distances to get comfort and help. Here, in hospital, in home, in school, in the daily give and take of human relationships, the word and life of the Christian missionary become living water for Nepal. Graduate nurses from Shanta Bahawan come here to serve, and there are experienced doctors on the ward to care for the acutely ill. Further west in the country, at Tan Sen, the mission runs another of its medical centers. It is early morning. Patients have already gathered. Many have slept near the hospital all night to be among the first to get in. Some people have trekked many days. The record belongs to a boy who walked for 35 days to get to the hospital. Still, there is time for a little conversation and a bite to eat. In the waiting room, patients are signed in and directed to the right doctor. A great many patients need immediate attention, others only consultation. The time in the outpatient's waiting room is not wasted. A health educator and his trainees have a lot of important information to share. The pediatrician has a trained assistant who helps with medical history and records the doctor's instructions. The doctor often has a class of students following him to learn something from his skills as the work goes on. This is a part of a field practice training program based at the hospital. The training program is a mission response to a government request for young men to spend the last few months of their training getting practical experience under medical supervision.
These boys are part of a group of 50 students who are here at the Ton Sen Hospital. They are auxiliary health worker students. They'll be learning about simple diseases, treatments. They'll be learning environmental health, health education, trying to find out what the problems of a community are. They must be prepared to help the population to develop a better community health program.
During their time at the hospital, the trainees learn how to interview people to get the proper information on the state of their health, how to make simple diagnosis, and to recommend further steps to be taken. When the course is finished, each will be a health team leader in an area of about 20,000 people. Let's follow a team of health workers as they go to visit a village. A Nepali nurse leads the team, and a missionary nurse midwife goes along as a resource person, assisting local workers but not dominating their efforts. Villagers welcome these weekly visits, and personal friendships grow, fruitful and rewarding relationships which all enjoy. With this personal contact, it is easy for villagers to approach team members. They gain encouragement and advice. Most importantly, this basic teaching lays the foundation for the people to participate in their own health care. The streams broaden and deepen through the many programs carried on by the mission. Even more important, they lead into personal friendship. And the missionary soon discovers that she is here not only to share technical skills and personal faith, but that there is also much for her to receive. Christ, the Savior of all men, is doing a work within, in many homes and many hearts. Any situation can be changed, any life can be transformed when His mighty love is expressed and allowed to flow freely. His body, the Church, is present also in Nepal, and His word is the source of the living water. By word and life, His followers seek to make their living Savior known throughout the land. They seek to share His saving love, and in humble and quiet ways fill human needs with living water, like the fountain spilling out of the rocks, filling the water pot abundantly.